Have you ever heard that voice in your head that says, "You're not good enough. You can't do that. That was really stupid"? What makes you think you're smart enough? That inner voice is your inner critic. Where does that voice come from? That voice can be those internal communications, those internal comments that came from authority figures, parents, in your past. Or maybe negative self-evaluations you've had. Maybe you didn't do something as well as you wanted to. And you're like, man, I wish I could have done better. That turns into that voice that says, "You're not good enough. You can't do that." What makes you think you're smart? On the other side is our inner guide. Your inner guide is that voice that says, "Yeah, you can do that." My favorite inner voice sounds like I forgot what the actor's name is, the guy from The Waterboy. "You can do it!" Every time I start becoming afraid and I think, "Oh, I can't do it," and I hear that inner critic kick in, I think of that, it makes me laugh. And I also see him getting so excited while he's doing that. And I think, okay, yeah, you can do it. Some other internal guide voices could say, "I'm capable. I'm lovable. I deserve that. I'm okay." Your inner guide asks those questions, helps you create a healthier outlook, gives you those positive thoughts, helps guide you towards healthier decisions. So we have two voices. Our inner critic is that mean one. We have our inner guide. That's the nice one. Tells you you're okay. So where do these voices come from? We start with self-esteem and core beliefs. Core beliefs are how you view the world. Do you see the world as positive? Everybody's happy and nice and opens the doors and does beautiful things for you? Or do you see the world as maybe people are kind of mean and untrustworthy? Your core beliefs are based on that. It is your inner compass. It helps you define what is right and what is wrong, which guides your behavior. Self-esteem is the second piece that leads into those inner voices. How do you feel about yourself? Do you see yourself as a good person? Do you see yourself as someone who is kind and caring? Or do you see yourself as maybe not good enough? Do you see yourself as maybe, God, I wish I would have done that differently and I can't do it anymore? You're feeding right back into that inner critic. Your self-esteem is also based on your beliefs and your confidence in yourself. It's what tells you how you are in the world, as long as those core beliefs. So when we're talking about compassion, this all leads into those inner voices, that inner guide and that inner critic. When we think of compassion, many times we think of how we treat other people, compassion toward others, sympathy towards others, helping someone else out that is in pain, empathy towards others. But what about ourselves? What about self-compassion? How many of you feel like you are self-compassionate? 90% of the time, maybe 80% of the time, maybe 20% of the time? Are you one of those people that goes out of their way to help other people, but then when it comes time to help yourself, you're like, "Oh, no, I can't do that. I don't take care of myself. I'm coming up on my birthday this weekend. I'm one of those people who doesn't take very good care of myself. I have a spa day planned. I'm so excited. I've never done this. I'll let you know how it is." That leads into the self-compassion. Showing that concern and kindness toward yourself, not just towards others. So what leads us to not having good self-compassion? What leads us towards, "Oh, great, I'm happy to help other people. But now when it comes to me now, I don't need any of that. I need to take care of myself." Could be those misguided beliefs. Maybe you have that voice in your head that says, I don't deserve that. Maybe it says, I'm just indulging myself. I don't need to do that. Not for me. Maybe that voice says, it is selfish to be compassionate towards myself. Interesting thought. So how do we build more self-compassion? We have a couple ways. First, listen and acknowledge your inner critic. What happens when you hear that voice that says, you're not good enough? You can't do that. I immediately turn that around and hear that louder voice, you can do it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I can do it. Maybe I'm afraid. Okay, just one step, a little step forward. Listening to what that inner critic is saying, and then rewriting that script. So instead of saying, hear that voice that says, you don't deserve nice things, you can't take care of them. How many of you are parents that have said that to your children? That gets internalized. Telling yourself it's okay to be imperfect. It is okay to be kind to yourself. Lastly, setting up a network for change. How do we change that inner critic to being that inner guide? How do we make that voice louder? Because a lot of times the inner critic is the loudest voice. And the inner guide is really soft and you can't really hear. And the inner critic is really loud and yelling at you. How do we change that? Forgive your inner critic. Be okay. All right. It's all right you said that. It's okay you don't think I'm good enough. Strengthen your relationship with your inner guide. Every time you hear that inner critic, rewrite it, listen to the inner guide. Tell your inner critic, no, be quiet for a minute. Listen to that inner guide. I'm going to wrap this up and give you 4 suggestions to make these changes. First of all, see the possibilities. Explore what those possibilities are. Secondly, increase your motivation by practicing. Thirdly, take steps towards change. And lastly, use role models to increase your motivation.